Hey everybody, it is Jack with another comics and beer session. I have comics for the last 2 weeks, that many, not a ton, and I've got some beer. So today I'm actually drinking my homebrew IPA. IPAs tend to be one of the easier things to brew because all the hop flavor, if there's any defects, the hop flavor takes it all out. So what types of hops did I use in this? I've got like 4 different beers in there, and I don't remember what hops I used, but I remember that I didn't do any entry hops. So when you're brewing, the initial hops that you put into your wort is that kind of has the lingering taste. So the earlier you put in the hops or any of your other flavors, that's going to have more of the lasting flavor. I didn't do any initial hop entries, but then I just blasted it with a bunch of hops. Maybe I used Centennial hops towards the end. So super hoppy on the nose, and the initial taste is very hoppy, but it goes away really fast. So it doesn't have like that lingering tart flavor that oftentimes, maybe tart's not the right word, but that really hoppy beers can have. So strong hop nose, good beer. It's a little bit undercarbonated for what I like, but it's home brewing. So that's my beer. Let's talk some comics. Batman number 36. Endgame. I'm not a huge fan of the Endgame thing. We'll see what happens. I feel like sometimes they like rely on the Joker to kind of save the series. I don't know. It was cool enough. Obviously going to keep picking it up, but nothing that I was blown away by. Really, obviously, still really cool art. Copperhead number 3. Didn't move a lot in the story here. Well, actually, no, I guess that's a lie. You kind of figure out leaves you with a hanger at the end. But I want to learn more about this world that they're having. Even though I know that he said like he doesn't want to focus on the fantasy aspect of this series. He wants to focus on the Western detective type stuff. You got to learn a little bit more about Ishmael, who you now learn is a artificial human art intelligence. They call them arties. So you learn a little bit about him. You learn a little bit more that there was some type of war that the humans made the arties for, and the arties fought this war for them, and that there's this big scuff now between humans and the arties. So I guess he did kind of delve a little bit more into the history. So he's piecing it together. You can tell he's taking his time. I hope this series has a long run because it looks like there's a lot of different things that you could go into with this. So still really enjoying this. Number 3, Copperhead. This one was $3.50. Usually, well, this whole series has been $3.50. Image can really keep it at $2.99. I don't know why this one was $3.50 as opposed to $2.99. And what deciphers between that with Image? Like what, there's no ads or anything, so I wonder what how they decide that. But still, really good book. Really enjoying it. And let's see. I only picked up most of these books. I only picked up 2 books this week. Most of these are obviously from last week. Nothing was really tickling me to pick it up. I don't know. It means probably I'll buy more stamps. Maybe I'll have a stamp video. Just a stamp video. Spider-Verse, part 1. This is one of 2. $4.99. I was talking to Peter Parker / John. Sorry, John, that your video YouTube thing got destroyed, but I commented on his thing about this. I thought this was a scam for $4.99. Like there was like some cool times, like I can't remember what the steampunk person is. That's her right there, the new Spider-Woman. That's her first appearance. Whoever or Lady Spider. I think is what she's going to be called. But I don't know, like the artwork was really, so it's 6 different stories that kind of tie into the Spider-Verse storyline. The art on some of them were really questionable. Well, not questionable, like they were just like childish. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the kind of the childish, cartoony stuff. Obviously, I know that's what they were going for, but for this, for $4.99, I thought the Lady Spider story was cool. It'll be, I hope that they continue to add her into the Spider-Verse world. And we'll see what happens, but just really disappointed that this was $4.99. This could have easily been a $3.99 book. They just threw $4.99 on there because it's Spider-Verse and it's the big thing going on in Spider-Man stuff. Just really disappointed. Marvel, put down your comic prices. Jack, don't be an idiot for buying comics that are $4.99. But whatever. Suicide Squad number 4. Really cool Harley Quinn cover. This was kind of a redeemer for me. I was really skeptical about continuing with the new Suicide Squad, but this one made me want to keep reading it. Made me want to be like, okay, this series is not terrible, and it never was terrible. I was just kind of getting annoyed with Joker's daughter. But this issue really brought it out to me a little bit more. I mean, really cool cover of Harley Quinn. So yeah, this was a saver. I'm gonna keep buying it. I mean, and DC keep doing $2.99 comics, and I'll keep buying them. If this was a $4.99, I mean, they would never make this $4.99, but even like $3.99, which a lot of Marvel comics are, are just $3.99. If this was a $3.99 book, I probably wouldn't buy it. Keeping it at $2.99, it's gonna keep on my pull list. So good enough for me to keep buying it. The last one that I got from last week was Witches number 2. Not blown away by it. I still like the story. I still want to see how this his idea of witches continues to go. But this issue was just like meh. I mean, it's a really cool cover, obviously, and the Jacques art was I don't know if it's him or the inker. Like, it was really weird. Like, I don't know. I think it's the ink more than the pencil that really makes the interior art just like too much. Like, there was like all this kind of holographic, maybe not holographic, is the right word, but like shiny, like looked like everything was like splattered. And I know like that's kind of one of the things that Jock does, but I don't know. It was just too much, like a little bit too much for my eyes. But not blown away by this issue. Obviously still going to pick it up because I think it has the potential to be really cool. But I'm also not going to keep buying it just because this was so hyped and it's a Scott Snyder horror. Like, I'm not going to keep buying it if they don't, in the next couple of issues, really try to sell me on the story. So, kind of disappointed in that issue. I really like the first one. Wasn't too thrilled with this one, or with that one. This week I bought Spider-Woman number 1. Super fun story, seeing Spider-Woman and Silk kind of going head to head. They made Silk a lot more immature in this one as opposed to an Amazing Spider-Man. Who's writing this? Hopeless? It's quite a name. Is writing this, and yeah, they just made Silk kind of this super adolescent, super curious, just really immature, which you got that in The Amazing Spider-Man. You knew, like, she was kept away for 10 years or whatever in a bunker, and so but she didn't come off in Amazing Spider-Man as being, like, this childish. So Spider-Woman is having to save her from the Inheritors and is running around hiding and from them, and Spider-Woman's in charge of Silk's safety. So, I don't know, so we're getting to learn another side of Silk and Silk's new solo series, right? Is that coming out in February? Is that what I heard? So I'm glad to pick this up. another silk story, and people go crazy for female spider people. So I'm glad I picked this up. This was a fun read. Another read that I haven't read yet, though, was The Amazing Spider-Man number 10, featuring the Superior Spider-Man. Haven't read this one yet, but based on the other stuff that in the Spider-Verse, I'm really enjoying that. I wasn't intending on picking up Spider-Woman, but since it was such a low draw day, because this was the only other book that I was going to pick up, I was like, nah, I'll just pick up Spider-Woman. See, like, even Spider-Woman, again, this is a $3.99 book. For DC, this would be a $2.99 book. They're selling it at that because it's Spider-Verse. I don't know. That $3.99 seems to be becoming their norm as opposed to, the dollar less that DC usually has. So, kind of disappointed in that, but I really enjoyed it. Really enjoying the Spider-Verse tie-ins, except for that Spider-Verse number 1, but I'm more disappointed that was at the price tag at that and what the content was. I didn't feel like it added a lot to the Spider-Verse, but that's just me. So, hope everything's going well, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Like I said, I am ordering some stamps this week, and there were some really cool stamps that my mom just sent me from my old collection back home, and I think it'll be stuff that you guys like. Lots of monsters, and lots of different stamps that I used to have, still had, but just were sitting at home. So I might next week come up with a video for stamps, and I have some stuff that I want to buy online. So maybe I'll do a stamp video. But hope all is well. Cheers, everybody, and have a good Thursday. Today's Thursday. Have a good Thursday.